good evening, and welcome to Motor City Radio. You chilling with your girl, Sexy Shakenya, in the house. One more again. And this is what we do around this time. I know it's after 7. You've been holding on, looking for me. I know, but you here and we here, and this is what we do. And you know, I do it alone, but it be hard. I got my boy Sam 44 man in the building.
What's up, world? It's your man. It's the one and only Mr. Sam 44 man. How y'all doing out there? That our Independence Day, but good weekend coming up. Supposed to be good weather. What you doing this weekend?
You know what? I don't even know, Sam, man. The way my pocket's set up, the way that bank
all right, now watch
looking,
yourself. We got a sheriff in the house now. Watch yourself.
Glenn was on me, got his hand. You know, it's tight, Sam, man. So I think I'm gonna just probably fix on my house and just call it a day, and then go to people's house and get plates and call it a day. That's what I think I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But you know what, Sam, man? Guess who we got in the house?
Yeah, tell us. Let's
we got Sheriff Raphael Washington in the building, baby.
Well, welcome.
He
Thank
is
you.
in the building.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to be here.
It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. And he is our only guest. You are the only one. You are spotlighted here tonight.
All right.
Couldn't nobody else join us.
I'll take that.
It's all about you,
Yes.
sir. All about you. So
Yes.
again, thank you for being here. And we're just gonna talk a little bit about who you are.
Okay.
And how you ended up in this position you in right now. Because you at the highest of the highest, right?
That's what they say.
I don't think it's too many people that come after.
They call me the chief law enforcement officer in the county.
Yeah.
So I guess that's who I am.
Yeah. Now, how did you end up in that position?
Well, the short part of how I ended up as the sheriff is probably what most of you and your listeners know. How that happened due to the demise of my hero and friend and brother Benny Napoleon's passing due to COVID in December of 2020, and after that, there has to be a sheriff appointed within 15 days, if you can imagine that. After someone has been buried, he had gotten elected in November when the hospital second week in November, and passed December 17th. Yeah, and so so got through the burial close to Christmas time, and there had to be a process or interview process. And out of 14 people, I was chosen by two of the most honorable women in Wayne County government I know, Kathy Garrett and Kim Worthy, our Wayne County prosecutor and our Wayne County clerk, chose me to succeed Benny Napoleon. So that's how I got here as a sheriff.
Man, that's something. Just to even think about that, just to think about the process, just to think about the other people, the other candidates that didn't make it.
Yes.
You know, that was, it's a short list, but that's a long list.
Oh, it's a long list. 14 people, said I want to be the sheriff, and for various reasons. But I guess my reasons prevailed, and my interview was good, and here I sit as the Wayne County Sheriff.
Because I know there had to be a lot of pressure.
That was great pressure.
You know what I'm saying? Coming from all angles, all sides.
Absolutely.
And now the microscope is on you now. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you handled it with grace and ease, sir.
I think I was built for this. I was prepared for this. I'd been with Benny Napoleon, one of the best that you all in our area says one of the best law enforcement men they knew. And I had been with him, fortunately enough, for 35 years. And so I got a chance to really see him up close and watch him work and glean from him. And over the years, through our time in the Detroit Police Department, which is where I worked for 24 years, and then even when he asked me to retire from the police department and walk into the sheriff's office with him when he was appointed in 2009. And so we've been together, and not only through work, we've been together through travel. We vacation together. We golf together. We dine together. Our families interact with each other. So I got a chance to really learn how to lead and how to be a servant. Be a servant. I call myself a servant leader, and I watched him serve people. And I watched him serve so much that I had been a servant anyway prior to, but I got a chance to really watch from a law enforcement standpoint on how you serve people. And so I think I was prepared for this. I know I was prepared for it. I think the calling was correct. and choosing me was correct, and I'm now here to retain my seat.
I know him. I know him personally because I'm friends with his niece Lisa.
Okay,
and so
I know Lisa.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I remember when I encountered him. I'm a video producer too, so I would always be in the middle of the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yes.
And I said, "Oh, here he is right here,
Gotcha.
man." And he said, "Hey, Stan, man, how you doing?" And
Yes.
I said, gave him a little interview and everything.
Yes.
But he was out there with the people,
That's-
shaking their hands. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just so gathered around him. I was like, "Man, let me let you do you."
I tell people all the time, if you love Benny Napoleon and how he interact, you're gonna love me too.
Yeah,
I promise you, because that's exactly who I am.
Well, I got another story for him because I went to University of Phoenix. And
Okay.
He was one of the
He was your
instructors.
instructor? Yes,
He wasn't
yes.
my instructor.
Okay.
But I'm going to be honest, all the women wanted to try to get in his class.
The one over there on Evergreen there? Yeah.
We all wanted to get in his class, and we couldn't get in his class, but we made sure we stopped by and say hi on our way. And he would just shoo us off. He thought it was the funniest thing.
Yeah, of
He
course.
never entertained us
I
or
got
anything
you.
like that. He just shooed us away. Go on, ladies.
That's
class
right.
time.
Class time.
But
Go to class.
He was
Yes.
a good man. He was a good man, very personable.
Yes.
And I get the same vibe from you, so I
No,
can
that's-
tell that you came up under him or however way it goes
Yes.
because I can see that. I've seen you out in many different places, and
Yes.
and you're always the same. Even just getting you here on the show,
Going to be
it
the
wasn't
same.
hard to call you and you say, "Okay, I got it." Let me
Right.
tell you what you need to do. But just the fact that you were so personable, I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you're doing, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that because that is the truth. That is who I am.
You a hard worker, man.
Yes, yes.
You've
I'm
been
everywhere.
out here. You everywhere now.
Every single
everywhere.
place.
You in the streets.
Yes.
I've been noticing you in the streets, and you out there amongst the people.
Right. Right.
So we trying to keep you here. So what
Let me ask you a question
Sure.
because we as people and a lot of citizens just notice police.
Right.
But what is the distinction between a Detroit police officer, Wayne County sheriff,
Yes.
and the state police?
Yes. So let me. We got a little time, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because I really want you all to understand it, because people ask that question all the time. And so, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, our mandated duty is that we protect the county courts, parks, and jails. The county court, parks, and jails. That's what we have to do. But we do other things besides that. We have a Marine unit. We have narcotic units. We have morality units. We have warrant enforcement units where we go out and seek fugitives and those who are wanted for various crimes that were committed in Wayne County, which is and a number of things. So that's what we find ourselves doing, as well as the mandated things we have to do. One of the most prized and things that are so precious to me, because I kind of helped start this, is our Scout program, which is our Sheriff's Community Outreach Urban Team. And what we do is what we found out we can do out of the things that we do. We go into various cities at their request and work with their radio patrol units, and we deal with quality of life issues that are happening right then. So just say, for instance, Detroit Police Department, they want us to come out and help them with drag racing and drifting, and we do that. Every other week we do that with them. We did it for the last couple of years, and we'll do it again this summer. So we go out and deal with quality of life issues, and we work with radio patrol units primarily, but we'll even just come in if they don't have a radio patrol unit in their community. What we do is we deal with real-time, right now, quality of life things. So the police department, they have to answer 911 calls.
Right.
And everybody in law enforcement all over this country is short. I just came from a sheriff's conference. The overwhelming theme is police officers. We need police officers because everybody's short. And so while the Detroit Police Department, for instance, is short, they have to answer 911 calls. Somebody still, if you're a law-abiding citizen, Sam, man, and I know that you are, you want your issue is the the abandoned vehicles on the street.
Yes.
The loiterers in front of your community stores. The drag racing and drifting and speeding up and down your block. The dope houses that are on your block. Well, Detroit Police Department and their neighborhood police officers, they're going to help with that, but it's not at the speed that you want to see it done. Because when someone is shot or an assault or crime happens in your community, that's the priority.
Okay.
So the abandoned vehicle is not necessarily the priority. You follow me?
Right.
Those things have to be investigated. The assaultive crimes have to be solved. And so We go in just waving the sheriff flag to say, listen, we will help you with those quality of life issues. Okay. You all handle the heavy duty stuff, and now all of it is being taken care of. You follow me?
Right.
Now Miss Brown, who wants the ban new car that's been sitting there for 2 years, wanted tagged and towed, and it happens to be an assaultive crime. It happens at that time. That's being taken care of as well.
So you're
the
more
community
of an assistant.
Yes,
to the
exactly, because that's 43 cities and townships. We work with all of them. If Taylor, which they did, they want to have their fireworks festival. But they're short of manpower, and they still have to do those 911 calls. We went out there to help them with their fireworks so that they can still answer calls to service. You follow me? And that's Inkster, and that's Downriver E-Course, that's Highland Park, that's anywhere. And we're here to do that. So unlike Macomb, Washtenaw, Oakland County, they all patrol a portion of that county.
Right.
Because some of those cities say, listen, we just want to write y'all a check to the county or whatever, and let them be our police department.
Right.
Every 43 cities in Wayne County has their own police department, whether it's a 3-member department or a 3,000-member department. 43 cities and townships, they all have a police department. So we don't answer 911 calls. We deal with quality of life issues and help other cities and townships with the quality of life issues and anything else they might need us to help them with. That's what we do.
That's all right.
So that's the difference.
Okay, so because I didn't know, I was like, well,
what do they do?
I mean, I know if I rode through this red light,
exactly.
he gonna flick me.
If we out there, we're gonna do that. And we have a secondary road unit, which we have MOUs and memorandums of understanding and agreements, where we will go into various garden cities, the Inksters, some of the places like that, and deal with traffic issues while they still deal with some of the things, the 911 calls and things that they have to deal with. Because traffic is a big issue in some of the smaller communities. They people just speed through them. They just do whatever they want to do. So we have a secondary road force which goes out and writes those tickets and does accidents, so that they don't take the smaller departments as it is. We don't take away from them to be able to not deal with those traffic injuries and things. We help them with that as well.
Because I noticed that you guys be around and you're noticed, but not as much as like Detroit police. It's like you see them, but then you rarely see you.
Right.
And
when you see us, people say, "Oh, sheriff's in town." Yeah. I like that. We like that.
Over here. Yes. Quit clown.
Sit up and straighten up, cause the sheriff in town.
Have you been noticing a lot of? I'm sure you have by the streets like these big major streets like Woodward, Grand River, where these guys is doing donuts.
Yeah, they're doing this drag racing and drifting. That's what they're talking about. Yeah.
And how dangerous?
They on the lodge with it. All that kind of crap.
That's really crazy.
Yes.
How do you handle somebody like that?
So we're out, and that's probably one of the major things that's going on, talking about quality of life in our communities. This drag racing and drifting. And it's very dangerous. You're trying to get home. It's dangerous for the innocent person that's just trying to get home from work, or they're young people out just driving home from their jobs, and they're just trying to get home. And these drag racers, and you probably experienced it. I know I experience it quite often. I experienced it today. Somebody just comes flying past, on Grand River.
Grand River,
right about last year, headed to Telegraph. And that's a stretch.
Yes, it is.
There was no traffic lights.
Yes, it is.
And they flying through there. And he flew right by me, and, I had an inkling to do something, but his light caught him. I rolled right up on him next to him. I had my hat on and stuff, and he started putting his hands up like, I'm sorry. I'm like, one more time. Right. We're going to go from Telegraph to 7 Mile. I need you to slow down. You know what I mean? So it's dangerous out here with that. And we're really trying. We were at a point where we were really tagging them and confiscating their vehicles, and that became a legal issue and things. And so, but we're still at it, and we're going to handle that.
I remember Father's Day, and I'm about to ask you this because the holiday is coming up this weekend. I filmed this lady who flipped over on I-94 the early morning of Juneteenth, and I filmed her. She was drunk.
Okay.
And the state troopers took her into custody and everything. How do y'all prepare for these holidays that's about to come up with the state police and the Detroit police to, capture these people?
Yeah, so that's good. We do collaborate. As I always say, and you probably hear me say it, and you'll hear me say it time and time again, we're stronger together. We have to get together and collaborate as police agencies because we're stronger together, and we need to have a plan of where we're going to be. We were just with Brownstown Township, and they asked us to come out and do a collaborative enforcement, speeding enforcement with them, and we did. And we had some good results, because they know that we're out there together doing the same thing. We just got a call, and we're going to be doing this next week. Next week we're going to be partnering with another agency, and I don't want to give that away right now because it's going to be a big news thing and all of that. But they've asked us to come out, and we went and sat. I went and sat with the mayor and the police chief, and they asked us how can we help them with this speeding that's going on in their community, another smaller town in our county. And we told them we'll be able to help them, and we sat down, we mapped out a plan, some dates we're going to get together. And we're going to go after those speeders because
it helps a lot.
It does
in those communities that have schools. I notice now a lot of speed bumps.
Exactly.
Because they have them around my household.
Yes.
With these schools around. So I think that's a deterrent too.
It is. The speed bumps are a deterrent, and us being out there, slowing them down is a deterrent when they see that it's not just the 2 or 3 police officers that they have on a shift. They're about to see about 13 on a shift. Now, and we're going to let them know, you got to slow down.
Now, sir, I know you came up under Benny Napoleon, and then the way, I guess, not statistics, but politics are, certain things you probably can't change or make changes about. But what are some of the things you've done different since you have been in office, if anything?
Yes, it's a few things. So I came in, and I had 3 mandated things that I put on myself that I wanted to do. And that was, number 1, obviously, try to get this COVID in line, this COVID pandemic. Back then, 2020, I came in January 15, 2021, and I said, we're going to attack this. We're going to continue to attack it, continue to take it seriously, and make sure that those that are in our custody and our staff are going to be safe. We never had a pandemic problem within our jail, but when people got off work, they on their own, they kind of do what they want to do, and you can easily bring that back into the jail. But we did everything from PPE equipment and mandatory masks while you're at our facility, testing. Once testing started in January 2021, we offered that. And so that was the one thing we did, and I'm proud to say that we did that very well because we did not have an overwhelming breakout within our jail facility. In any of our facilities. That was one. Okay. Number 2, I said we have to talk about retention, recruiting and retention. Although it's an issue all over the country in law enforcement, we're talking about Wayne County and what can we do better to get people into our agency. And so we attacked that strongly. We started a robust recruiting campaign. I brought in 3 recruiters who were police officers to deal with the things that we were doing and how can we do things better. And one of my recruiters that I'm so proud of came up with something. This pandemic showed us something. When we went into these QR codes, and you have to scan the codes and you can get what you want from, if you went to restaurants or whatever, we said we could take this QR code and bring it into our agency, and we can make it easier for people to get hired into our agency because we have the requirement to come in is simply a GED certificate or a high school diploma. But then we were giving them 12-page applications to fill out. That don't even match. I said, we got to do this. We got to do better than this. If you got a GED or a high school diploma and we're outside trying to recruit people, we had tents and things, and they're not going to sit and do a 12-page application on site. Because we got to do it better. So one of our recruiters said, well, why don't we try a QR code? And I'm being, a little older. I'm like, okay, because they're younger. You know what I mean? I'm like, so and that's what you need, Yeah. And I said, well, what does that do? They said, well, remember, you know how it does at the restaurant when you're not touching things, so you do a QR code and order your food. You can do that with anything. And so they said, let's create a QR code and put it on all of our pamphlets, our cars, our buildings. So wherever you walk by anything, just as you do with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, you can simply scan it, and a 2-page application comes up that you fill out on your phone and hit send, and it goes to our human resources.
That's the wave of the future.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because I had to learn real quick. I was at the restaurant. I said, to my daughter, I said, how do you use this?
Exactly.
Hit your camera.
There you go. There you go.
And then it popped up.
Absolutely.
I said, oh.
Absolutely. Okay. And then you order it, and so so what we did was found a way to do that quicker, and we're getting people into our agency at a much faster rate than we had been doing before. And so we did that. That was the second. And the third thing I talked about that was important to me was we're going into a new jail. And our morale right now is low because we're working in antiquated jails that break down constantly. Elevators break down. Inmates' water stops for whatever reasons. The light goes out. Lights go out, and power shortages. And it's because the jails are 100 years old, one of them. One of them almost 100 years old, like 60, 70 years old. And another one is probably be 40, 50 years old. And these jails run 24/7. They never stop. You follow me?
Right.
And anything that's running like that, it's going to break down. And so now with large part of our county exec Warren Evans, he's largely responsible for helping us move into a new facility, and we're going to be moving into a state-of-the-art facility in January, February, or it may be, I'd just like to say the first quarter of next year. And a state-of-the-art, I mean, like, going to be very nice for our staff. They don't have to work in these antiquated jails anymore. When anybody moves into a new thing, a new building, a new house, it just feels good. It's going to feel good to our inmate population, and we don't even want that. We don't want them feeling good like, oh, we can hang out here. No,
look, we got a new penitentiary off 75 around the corner from me. We had to vote on that new penitentiary.
Wait a minute,
right
75 and Warren?
Yes, sir.
That's our new jail. That's our criminal justice complex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now is that because of the debacle or whatever that was going on with the other deal? No,
well, I don't know.
You know that was the old bus station. Remember?
The new one. He's talking about the one downtown.
I'm talking about the one
They
downtown.
started building one and then they stopped for whatever.
Yeah, that was
that was the one downtown across from the courthouse.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, this one is off 75.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right off 75
brand new.
and Warren.
When he get upset and state of the art, and I'm like,
that's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's our new Wayne County.
Too inviting.
He was talking about, I want to hang out here. I'm at the new penitentiary.
Exactly. And so what happens is, that's the criminal justice complex. So
it is.
The court is moving over there, the Third Circuit Court. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy's office is moving over there. The adult jail that we run is moving there. The juvenile detention facility is moving there. So this is going to be a complex.
Yeah, because you can tell what part is the penitentiary, what part is administrative.
You see the big tall.
Because I've seen it come from the root.
There you go.
I'm like, they got it lapped out.
You're right over there.
You say that's opening when?
Probably we're trying to get it open the first quarter of next year.
Okay.
At the very latest, as construction goes, and construction runoffs go, and who's going to be moving into the complex first, and all of those kind of things. So we're trying to get in there by the first quarter, no later than, if it goes past that, no later than May or so, which we're really pushing the contractors.
So the state is solely in charge of transportation of inmates from other facilities with your assistance?
That's us. No, the county does
that's
that.
You?
Yes.
Okay.
We go out to anywhere in the county and pick up those that need to be picked up. Like if you're arrested and you're arraigned in Taylor. Well, Taylor doesn't have to bring their inmates to us. We'll go get them once they're arraigned. Once they're arraigned, they become ours at the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and we bring them down to our jail so that now Taylor police can continue to work. And their tax dollars are working, and what they're paying we're going out to get their prisoners for them and bringing them to the Wayne County Sheriff's Office.
I had a little background when I was growing up, and when we was locked up, we was, swear to God, we was free here, but they said, "Oh, somebody coming to get you."
Oh yes,
please make sure the officers don't come. And we would, because they couldn't keep us no more.
No,
let them go. Or some of them be like, "Hey, Mr. Miles, how you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh man,
you don't want to hear that. Yeah, come on with us. You know what I'm saying? And so so that's how that goes. And those were the things that I was really wanted to work on, and I am working on them. We're doing very well with our recruiting efforts.
I didn't know you were earphones.
I'm
You
sorry.
hear yourself.
Oh, okay. We're doing.
Are you comfortable in this chair? Because
Yeah,
they ain't
it's
supposed
kinda
to
low.
be this low.
It's kinda low
We can
for me.
actually switch it out.
No,
Is there
that's
any way
fine.
we can go and have a
think
little
I'm
break?
good. I'm good.
play some
Don't worry
music?
about it. But yeah, so I can hear myself. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're doing, and we're doing it well, and we're excited about it. So the Wayne County Sheriff's Office is in a good place. It's going to be in a better place, and I'm excited to be here.
And I'm
That's
glad
what's
you
up.
guys are out in the city as far as the recruiting, because I say it all the time. We got to get some of our children more involved in
Absolutely.
law
In
enforcement.
law enforcement,
If you
yes.
want to make change, if you're not happy with what's going on in the climate,
Yes.
you got to encourage our children to even be a part of that.
You sound like
go
me.
be state troopers, go be Wayne
Yes.
County Sheriff.
Yes.
So to see you in office in the position that you in definitely is encouraging and motivating for it. And then you guys, y'all out there, because we had a couple conferences. I have a youth program. I deal with children with behavior issues, and I try to get them before they come to y'all complex.
Okay, that's good.
And we've
Thank you.
had a couple of job fairs, and you guys were there. I want to say Mr. Williams is his name.
Keith Williams.
Keith Williams.
He
I
helps
see
us
him
out.
all the time.
I moved him into another position, but he still helps. It kind of helps in our recruiting.
Okay, because
But,
I
yeah.
remember when he was running for office, I worked on his campaign, and then
okay.
after that, I started seeing him at all the recruitment fairs. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have seen you guys out. I know you out trying to get people recruited. So yeah, we
Yes.
got to encourage our youth
Please,
to
I
get
tell them,
involved. Get involved.
They have to be the change they want to see. You got to come into the agency and work within if you want to see the things that we have gotten wrong in law enforcement occasionally. And they're discouraged and they don't want to be a part of it. But I say you have to come in and be the change that you want to see and help that. So yeah, we're doing that.
I heard you mention about programs that you work with young people. How does that work? How does that?
So we have several programs. The program that we kind of do for those who are troubled and mothers who call us, because it's more mothers that call us than anything. If the fathers were doing more, mothers wouldn't be calling us, but that's a whole nother conversation. But nevertheless, the mothers call us quite often because their young men and even their young women are acting out, and they're trying their best to keep them away from us in a position where they're going to be running down a dead road and they're a dead end, and it's going to be not good for them. And the parents they don't want it. So we have a program that we work from within our agency called Dose of Reality. And what we do is bring them in and let them see what it looks like inside the jail and where they could be headed. And then we often let our inmate population even have a conversation with them, monitored right there with them, a conversation with them, and because they don't mind telling the kids, listen, you don't want to be here, you know, you don't want to end up like me, you know. And these are just our county jails where most of them haven't even been to trial or anything yet, but they're there because they can't bond out, or they're remanded because they are not given a bond, and they like to talk to the kids and tell them, you know, you don't have to be here. And so we do that to help deter our young people away from being in a position where they're going to be spending time with us.
You know what, Sheriff? That's crazy that you said that, because that's where I started at with my program. With Officer, I want to say Thompson. It was a young lady. I can't think of her name right now, but it was two of them. It was a man and a young lady. But the young lady was the one that I would deal with every time for the kids. And then they stopped when Napoleon had got in. It stopped for a while, and that's why I ended up seeking other measures.
Because it was funded. And the funding kind of went away.
Okay.
And then our
I was so crushed.
And then but
that's all I had, and it worked. It was so effective with my children. I took my own kids there, and then every month, whenever they would have it, she would let me know they have it, and I would sign up at least 10 kids, and I would bring them. And it was such a big help, with the program. Then it stopped, and I had to find another resource, and I ended up using Ryan Correctional, and I take the girls to Huron Valley. But they don't close Ryan since COVID, so they put a stop to everything. So I'm in the process now of trying to get a meeting with the chief. I had a meeting with Bedison because I want the neighborhood police officers to be able to give my information to the parents, the same parents that come to y'all looking for help. That's where everybody usually go when they having problems with their children. I don't care what it is. If they fear them stealing, fighting, whatever, they go straight to the police department. So that's where I'm at right now. But I would like to be able to use a prison or a jail cell to conduct the actual meeting. So that's what I'm trying to do. Maybe you can help me with that, Sheriff.
Let's talk about that.
An empty one, because I know all the precincts, they take the prisoners to Dickerson now. So some of them use their precincts for storage, I've been told. But if I can find just one to allow me once a month to have the meeting just inside the jail with my returning citizens talking to the kids. Because we did it last month. Sandman was a part of it with the I had 2 guys that were returning citizens. Sandman was one, and another gentleman, Derek Sane, and I had 2 local police officers come. And
I'm going to.
So it helped, but being in the cell, don't nothing take the place of that.
I'm gonna help you with that.
And and I'm an ex-con,
still doing
and I served 5 years in prison in my teenage years. And the thing is, just because you go to prison doesn't necessarily mean you're going to just keep going through that.
No, not at all.
Door.
No.
There's plenty of us that made it, got successful out here, and became something.
Absolutely.
And I feel like as a part of a black man, we don't initiate that as much as we used to. Remember Scared Straight?
Absolutely.
Whatever happened to that? You know, our kids don't have nothing. They don't fear nothing.
They don't fear anything.
And it's like, well, how can I reach this?
And that's an unfortunate situation because I worked when I worked my time in the Detroit Police Department very early in my career. I was dealing with gangs and youth, and I worked youth crime units and drug units, and you'd have it was an eerie feeling when you have to deal with a young person that's 13, 14 years old, and he tells you, I don't care anything about dying.
Ain't that sad?
13, 14 years old, I'm telling you. Look me in my face and say, I don't care about dying? What are you talking about?
Ain't that crazy?
And they don't, though.
I'm like, so if you don't care nothing about dying, you certainly don't care nothing about me dying. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really, so now your mind is telling you, this is 13, 14-year-old, that's looking at you telling he will kill you. You follow me? So your mind got to take you somewhere else now as an adult law enforcement person that's trying to save a kid that's telling you, I don't care nothing about dying.
And they getting younger and younger.
Yes.
I take them at 12, but I've been getting phone calls.
I heard one was 11. Wasn't
that
that boy that shot that girl in her house? He was shooting through the neighborhood and shot in that house and killed that little girl. 11 years old. I'm like, are you seriously kidding me?
Yes, I heard about that for sure.
And also, your job is dangerous all the way around because it's law enforcement.
Yes.
How do you feel? Like, I don't know if you're aware that multiple officers were shot down in Kentucky just yesterday, Thursday.
I missed that news because I was flying yesterday, and
several
I
officers.
missed that.
It was like more or less they were ambushed. I mean,
what happened?
The guy went up to the officer and just started opening fire.
Wow!
Oh my God!
And they were in the car, and one of them, one died, one is in critical condition.
Gotcha. And I have not seen the news
and I was
today
like,
at all.
wow, these folks, are they going vigilante against the police?
It's a dangerous time. It's a dangerous time. It's still a noble.
I pray for y'all every day.
Thank you so much because it's a noble profession. But and we didn't sign up to die.
Right.
But we did sign up to serve and protect, and we understood signing up what could happen. You know what I mean? But that doesn't give us any kind of solace that it's okay, because it's not okay. We want to come home just like everybody else.
Right.
And we have to put ourselves in positions to best do that. And facing the things we have to face. So, but it's just a bad time, and it seems like it's getting worse. Every time we think we're turning the curb, it looks like something happens, and we say no, we're really not. So we just stay at it because, again, I'm 39 years in this profession, And thank you for thinking I don't look that old. But well,
look, I'm 56.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 62 in another month.
Oh, my goodness, 62?
Yes. So,
you don't look a day over 30.
Thank you so much. That's because I'm out here doing the work, out here trying to take care of myself. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, been at it a long time and have pretty much seen it all. But still believe that we have work to do, and I want to be a part of that work. Yeah.
Do y'all have any special training for the sheriffs as far as dealing with the mentally challenged?
Good question. Thank you so much for asking that, because mental health is really one of the biggest things going on right now, and how we best serve our mental health consumers and our population, especially in our jails. And so what we do in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office is we make sure that our officers who have to deal with the mental health condition of our inmates, because we always say, and I always push, this is a condition. This is not this person. So when you get feces thrown at you or urine thrown at you, it is not that person. You follow me? Yeah. So your mind tells you want to break the bars and go in there and then handle things. But your training, which I'm going to talk about, says that's a condition, and we got to try to fix that condition so that person won't be in a position to do that. So what we do, we partnered with Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, and they have a crisis intervention training program within their organization, and I went through it, and I sent some of my executives through it, and I'm sending officers through it, so that we can learn how to de-escalate more. Yeah. We can learn more about conditions. We can learn more about how to handle and talk down these people who are dealing with mental health conditions, and this program is top notch. I'm telling you, when I left that program, I grew up with an aunt who severely mental. What we said back in the 60s and 70s was it was retarded. The person was retarded. Right. You know what I'm saying? But had we knew then what we knew now, we could have best served her in a better manner when she would go through crisis and want to fight. My mother, her sisters, and those, and they would have to call their brothers, and because she was out of control, and as she got older, she's obviously, you can't be Father Time. So as you get older, you're still going to have a condition, but you slow down on the physical part of it. But had we known what we know today with crisis intervention training and things like that, we could have served her better. So that's what we do for our mental health consumers in our jails. That's good. We send our officers through that training, and when they come back, they know how to deal with those crises when they happen, and it simply works for us.
Well, you know what? I on that mental. Okay, I understand your perspective from your family. Okay, but what about that person they're sane, but just society, the bills are high. I can't feed myself. I'm about to lose my house. All these things together can trigger a person off. It can trigger. They don't necessarily have to have a mental health issue, but it's just that anger. They just, I'm stuck.
Yes, and that's why, we go through the training and try to understand what to do, but that's a whole different training when they talk about why these things happen, and is it really mental illness? And people are getting upset now because when something happens, a mass shooting or whatever, the first thing that's being said is it was a mental condition.
Exactly.
And it's making some people angry. You know what I mean? Is it a mental illness, or is it a hatred thing? And it's hate. Is extreme hate mental? You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a whole thing, man. On this whole, it's a gray area. Absolutely.
Let me ask you something, Sheriff. You're old enough to remember, like myself, when families could commit family members, and they took that away. I had an uncle that was severely. We came to find out that he was born with spinal meningitis.
Okay.
And it affected his brain over the years. And when he would act out, there was a number that we could call.
Right.
And they would come to the house, and they saw that if he wasn't on his meds or he was a threat to himself or others, they could take
him away.
Yeah.
Why in the world did we get rid of that?
Well, you have to ask John Engler. You know, you have to ask the former governor who shut down most of the long-term and pretty much all of the mental health institutions in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
And I mean, just shut them down. So now you had no place to take them long-term. And then a lot of the older ones, they're walking the street.
Yeah.
You know, and with mental illness conditions, and unmedicated.
You know, I'm glad you said that because I also have a show, Detroit Raw Live. And I've been saying on my show, is society becoming so difficult that people are doing drastic things like these mass shootings because my state is not going to kill me, but I'm off the street and I don't have any responsibility?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ain't that deep though?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
That is deep.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, if I go shoot up this person today, if I don't get killed, you got me for life.
You got three.
No,
You got three hots and a cot. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy that you said that.
And it's
Exactly,
crazy
you know?
to sit back
There's
to
a lot
think
of hood people that
but
do
it
that.
is a
Yeah.
lot
They go
of
back
people
and
going
forth.
to jail.
No more bills. They have to pay. No responsibility.
Health care.
No
Some of them be
healthcare.
on Facebook.
You
I
know?
got a friend request from some dude, and his background was that fake yard that they got in the back. I was like, they let them get on Facebook? Oh
Yeah.
my
Hey.
God.
Yeah.
They
But
living
that's
it up
really
in
something
there.
to think
You know,
about.
I don't even want to think.
And they
that
got the
that's-
best
that's the thing.
health
You know what I'm saying?
They got the best health
That's
care.
all right.
And I'm only-
I'd rather
They got
take-
the best-
I'd rather
I'm
take
only-
mine outside.
I worked at receiving, and
I'm
those
only saying
inmates
this.
had the
Yeah.
best health care that
Yeah.
they used to bring to our
Oh, back
facility to
then
get
when they
care.
were taking on there. Yeah.
I'm only saying this
I thought you went
because
to jail.
I was incarcerated when I was in prison, and this old white man, this what his score was. He would be in the penitentiary all winter. He'd go in the summertime.
You
He's
get out.
free.
Yeah.
And he kept doing this, and I said, hey, hold up, man. The hell wrong with you? What the hell you just? I'm doing 5 years, bro. You'd have been up here 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Yeah.
He said, in the summer, I can sleep on a park bench. In 19 below zero, I can't.
Right.
I said, what the hell do you do to just get 6 months or so?
Right.
He said, I get drunk, I get me a brick. Woo, woo.
Yeah.
I just did a little loitering and destructors of property.
Oh, wow.
I'm out in 6 months.
And because you're
wow.
an habitual, you know you're gonna go.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
And that's what made me start thinking because that man was serious.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, but that's the mentality.
He was
of
serious.
most men.
And
that's a
crazy.
shame if
People, not
people
just
had that
men,
kind of
just
Right.
mentality.
people,
People, yeah.
People out there with these mental issues,
Yeah.
sleeping on these churches
Yeah.
in downtown, they try to, sweep
Drew
them up.
along, yeah.
And,
yeah.
and it's sad because it's so close because there was a time when people were just downtown. That was like homelessville.
Yeah. So
You see what I'm saying?
what I did last week was I participated in a groundbreaking ceremony with Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, who's building, redoing a building that are going to be able to house those with conditions like that for a longer period of time.
That would work.
It won't be months and things like that, but it's much longer than what they have the 2 days when they send when you're acting out. They
To the
take you
crisis
somewhere,
center.
crisis center, let you back out.
Yeah.
There's going to be they're going to be in a position where they can hold you for a few weeks or so,
That'd be
and even longer
wonderful.
than that to stabilize you,
Yeah.
and to see that you're able to get back out and with meds and try to get you in some other places as well.
Right,
that can
right.
help
That's
you.
what I said. You have some
Exactly. Send you to
programs and
some other
things to help them
programs.
out. Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
That
so yeah,
sounds
they
good.
just had a major groundbreaking, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of that, being one of the largest mental institutions in the state of Michigan, the Wayne County Jail. So they invited us to be a part of that, and it was very nice.
Now, how can people be a part of your campaign? 'Cause are you actively campaigning now?
Am I active?
Yes.
Can you
People
see
fighting
how-
for your gunning
Right.
for your spot.
Right.
What's going on?
So you see how slim I am. I'm not eating. not eating much.
no.
And I'm proud. And this is such an engaging conversation. Else I'd been asleep because I don't sleep a lot.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because I'm out here
imagine.
getting the work done. I'm out here doing the work, and nobody's going out
got
work.
a
Me.
lot of endorsements over here.
That's
Martha Scott.
That's what we're so proud of.
I
Yeah,
remember
I see.
when she first got on the circuit. I worked with her campaign, me and my mother, and Judge Greg Mathis.
One of my most precious
Mathis
commissioners, Martha Scott. Martha G. Scott.
Yeah, Martha G. Scott. That's
Exactly.
right.
So how can people be involved, get involved if they want to help you?
So we have a website, www.sheriffwashington.com, and you can go right to that website, and we have various things that you can fill out if you want to donate to the campaign, if you want to volunteer, you want to do something, you want to know what we're doing, where we're going to be, you can go right to that website and become a part of our team. You can do that. We welcome that.
Yeah.
You know, and we're very, very accessible. Everyone has my phone number. My phone number is pretty much public.
Well.
You know, and people don't take advantage of that.
Well, August the 2nd, you got my vote, sir.
Right, August 2nd. Don't
I
forget.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got to keep
Starting
it in the
tomorrow.
house.
Yes.
The top tick tock.
Yes.
It's got to go, and you can vote by absentee ballot
Yes, you can.
or on
Or in
August
person. Yes.
Yeah, August the 2nd.
Yeah, and
So-
absentee is very good. If you've reached out and you've let your Secretary of State know, or the county clerks or the city clerks, wherever you live, let them know you want to vote absentee. They will get you a ballot to your home, and or you can you can even go to the clerk's office and vote. And so there's no reason not to vote, is what we like to say.
Now, sir, I did hear you say you was gonna help me as far as trying to get the kids to go.
I got you. I got you.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
for 'em. I just want to make
got
sure,
you.
I
I
got
got
you
you.
all on,
We have a facility that you may be able to use.
And even a dose of reality
messed
tour,
up
I can
now,
if I can
Oh,
still use
wow.
it.
I
you
messed
know,
up now.
If that's accessible
just
too,
happened right in front of your face.
just so I can be able to service more
Listen,
children.
this
That's
my
all.
friend. She
yeah,
gonna
thank
take
you,
care
sir.
of me.
Thank you.
So,
Yes.
so
No, we talking about this homicide you were about to
Oh
watch.
my God.
whatever. How was that? What's great happened?
My book. He
Oh,
talks
what
about
you
my
reading?
book.
What
Don't
you
mind
reading?
him. I wrote a book, sir.
murder. That
And-
cover.
Functional
the cover-
family, not.
Yes, and the cover is
autobiography. Oh, this is
Rat-a-tat.
your book.
It's my
Yes.
book.
Gotcha.
yes.
This is a big book.
Yes, it is, and it's full of
Bragging.
everything. So, guys, because the show almost over. We
Are we
got to
done?
get you back,
It's an
Sheriff.
hour?
Yeah, we
we
got to
just
get you
got
back.
started.
So, guys, I want you to go to lulupublishing.com. I was going to do story time tonight, but the sheriff was more important.
Thank you
guys.
so much
Yes,
for
I
having me.
appreciate you taking the time out, man, because I know you're busy. So,
Yes.
to take time out for our little bitty show,
Oh, no,
it means the world to me, man.
one more
I even
question.
started promoting 2 days early.
Have me back. Have me back. And those pamphlets, you can pass them out to
Yes,
anybody you
and
think.
we will.
Tell them Wayne County Sheriff, the Wayne County has a sheriff. You're not looking for a
That's
sheriff.
right. That's
Right.
right. We
Right.
already got
I
one.
wanted to get your personal views,
Sure.
if you have any, that you can speak to. When at the last school shooting with those children,
Texas.
yes,
Mhm.
do you feel that law enforcement waited too long to react?
Absolutely. Waited too long. They 19 children were murdered, and a lot of them were shot and died over that hour that it took for them to go in there. Did it take too long? It took way too long. It's in my mind, it's almost criminal what happened.
And I
I'm
didn't
the, listen,
understand
I'm the
with those
police, and I'm saying
shields.
it was criminal.
I thought they was just gonna rush the room with them shields.
I mean, you cannot sit outside for an hour
Yeah.
and there's children being killed and do nothing. I
didn't
don't
know-
care what the excuse was. All excuses are corrupt to anyway. And so it's no excuse. It's just no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse for those 19 children, for 19 of them, to
but
be
all the
dead
rest of
within
them
an
are
hour.
going to need help
So
because
if hypothetically,
Mhm.
if you were the chief
Mhm.
on the scene,
Mhm.
how would you deal with those officers who did not do what they were trained
Well,
to do?
it had to be, it depends on what policies are. Obviously, some policies may have been broken. What do you do with that part of it? You can't just make quick second decisions. But I'm going to tell you one thing. It didn't take 3 or 4 weeks to figure out something went wrong. We knew that instantly. once something went wrong on law enforcement's part.
Right.
When we watched get choked, get kneed, as well as I know. When we watched him be killed, George Floyd, when we watch him be murdered on TV, we're watching it.
Yeah.
It didn't take me. We got to investigate this, and maybe it wasn't what we were seeing. I'm watching somebody be murdered by a police officer.
Yeah.
I called it murder when it was murder. I mean, I didn't wait to. I didn't have 39 years, y'all. I didn't have to figure out. Let's do a whole investigation to figure out if he was murdered. I'm watching the man be murdered.
Right.
You want crying for his life.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't that went something went terribly wrong in Texas, and we need to call it wrong. And law enforcement, from what I've been hearing all over the country, is calling it wrong. Period.
You think it should be some disciplinary?
I think it absolutely should be. It's almost criminal of what happened. We are mandated as law enforcement officers when these kind of things go and when they happen. We have to be the first one. If we're the first one on the scene, we're the first one going in. It's as simple as that. We have to go in and stop that threat of lives being lost. Period. And we don't want to lose our life.
Right.
But we got to go in and do something. That's what we signed up to do.
Y'all are superheroes to me. I commend you and what you do. I appreciate you taking the time to come and visit us. And I hope there ain't no call or nothing. It's too late for all that.
No,
we about to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget August 2nd.
Yeah.
Yes.
August 2nd. Get yourselves out there and
vote.
retain Sheriff Raphael Washington,
Yes.
and make sure y'all get yourselves down there. I just got my voter's card registration.
All right.
Yes,
Just got it in the mail. My wife
Right.
handed it to me. She got hers.
That's
So
what's up.
Yes.
we got you.
Wayne County.
Huh?
You bribe somebody?
I ain't bribing nobody. I can still vote.
Oh, you can still vote. Right.
That's it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Thank you, Sandman, for joining me one more again. Thank you so much, Sheriff Washington, for being here. And
Thanks for
guys,
having me.
that's it for Motor City Radio. Check us out next Friday. Ain't no telling who you gonna see here. And we out, baby. Mwah.
I'm still on vacation.
Bye, Sandman. You baby sick.
I love that.
Thank you. Thank you
so much for having me. This was fun.